Good evening and welcome back. Happy April, everyone. Today is Sunday, April 3rd, 2022. As always, I'm your host, Samantha, back with another episode of MMTV. It's truly crazy how quickly this year has flown. This week, we are at our 26th episode. Starting us right off, we have an individual who has been here since week 1, drummer Chris. Chris will be sharing another original song on his segment, Drum Studio. Marissa then follows by asking fellow Spartans this week's essential question.
I like to be in the Marvel movie.
I would choose to be in Pitch Perfect so that I could hear the finale number. I've got the magic of me in real life. That's what I would do.
If I could be in any movie, I would be in The Princess Bride. It's Slay. I don't know. Slay.
I would be in Harry Potter.
Spider-Man No Way Home or something. Actually is The Greatest Showman. I think it's very interesting how it just shows you like why the arts is awesome, because it's just like the best. It's just you're entertaining people and giving them something to smile about. It doesn't matter if you're fake or something. So I don't know. I thought it was really, really cool.
I would want probably to be in Cars, you know, because like I mean Cars is pretty cool. It's like our world, but I mean like I wouldn't be like a human and stuff there. You know, I'd be a car man. I'd be rooming. I'd be zooming.
Either two series are some of my favorites. The short-lived The Get Down on Netflix and Wu-Tang: An American Saga, because both of them deal with the origins of my beloved hip-hop music. I would love to even play a small role in either one of them, especially Wu-Tang: An American Saga. Oh my God, what a great show.
Like a historical fiction movie, like Gettysburg, or Dances with Wolves, or something that dealt with a significant time period in U.S. history.
I'd love to be in Fast and Furious.
I'd probably be in Fast and Furious. Why? You don't.
This past Friday, April 1st, closed off our third quarter. We are finally in the home stretch of things. Congratulations, Spartans, and good luck on this commencing final quarter of the 2021 to 2022 school year. Another week, another student profile. In this week's episode, Rosie spoke with fellow student Nico. Let's see what Rosie has to share. Then we have Conrad's segment, You Ask, We Answer. This week, discussing the elevated gas prices.
This is Nico Friedmutter. Nico is a sophomore here at Monument. Nico's favorite class to take here is ceramics. When he's not in school, Nico likes to play Magic the Gathering. Some fun facts about Nico are that he's flown a plane and he met Barack Obama. That was this week's student profile. Join us next week for more.
What do you mean, what do you want to talk about? You know what I want to talk about.
Yeah, I do know.
I'm here with Nicholas. What are the main gas exports besides Russia?
And it was a pretty cool photo. It made him look really a lot bigger than he was. But maybe
I have absolutely no idea.
Prior to the Ukraine conflict, the U.S. imported very little oil from Russia that was directly considered to be a part of the consumerist market. It was more towards military and naval spending. So when you look at the rising prices in America, this is actually...
So Russian gas was mainly just for the army?
It was mainly for federal.
And barely even for federal?
Even then it's like we
So it makes no sense that it would be affecting the citizens of America.
It wouldn't make sense.
It does make sense.
Which is why you've got American
So they're
gas
trying to capitalize on it by like tricking people with like propaganda.
Pretty much saying that, oh well, Russian gas, like, oh guys, but no, Exxon, like Shell, like that, they don't care. It has nothing to do with that. They're capitalizing on the Ukraine situation to make our gas prices high. It's such a shame because you see, especially young drivers in the Berkshires, I hear it every day in the hallway.
No, because we have to drive everywhere.
Yeah,
we have to drive everywhere.
It's just like, oh god, $4.50 a gallon. It's like, yeah, that's expensive.
It's like, I think it's more in Pittsfield too, especially you who lives.
Yeah, I live in Tyringham. I live in the middle of nowhere. Can't get anywhere without driving.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like most of us drive like 15 to 18 gallon cars.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, I refill only when I'm low, and that's like a lot. That's like $70.
People whose cars are like that, who are really bad, and they can't afford to get it fixed up. It's just like making them. It's like beating them farther down.
Yeah, no, and it's just it's exploitation from the business class in America that is justified through conflict that is genuinely horrible. The problem is that our society is so car-centric that we don't have choice, especially with the Berkshires. We used to have like a trolley system. We used to have actual public transport.
That's why, in Pittsfield, wasn't there the train station?
Yeah, the train station, thank God, I think they're like repairing the line to Boston, so hopefully that'll be back.
We really need a train station.
Circling back to last week's Freshman March Madness Day, there is already talk underway to plan alternative versions for activity days with grades 10 through 12. We will keep you updated as any further information will be released. So many exciting things are happening in our school building. Are you looking for a way to bring the fun home? Sam is up next sharing a new video game for you all to try out. Then after, we have Nick following with a review on some more music. Who knows? This segment might introduce you to your newest favorite song.
This week, I'll be taking a look at a game that was the start of one of the most iconic characters in video games, praised for its accessibility and simplicity. This is Kirby's Dream Land. The idea for Kirby's Dream Land started when the financially struggling game studio HAL Laboratories asked its employees to present ideas for games, regardless of their status in the company. One of these developers, Masahiro Sakurai, who would become one of the most beloved developers creating the Super Smash Bros. Series, presented an idea that its core identity was a platformer that could both cater to someone who has never played a video game before, but also provide a fun challenge for experienced gamers. The head of the company instantly fell in love with Sakurai's idea and gave the project the green light. Kirby's Dream Land was then released for the Game Boy on April 27, 1992. The first thing you'll notice when playing Kirby's Dream Land, if you're familiar with the more recent games, is that Kirby doesn't have a copy ability, which is arguably his most defining trait. The copy ability would not be included until the next game in the series. Instead, Kirby's Dream Land was designed around Kirby's base moveset. Sure, you get some traditional power-ups, but most of it is just floating and sucking up enemies. The game's not very long. In truth, you could probably beat it in about 30 to 40 minutes, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It makes the game infinitely replayable with so many ways to approach a playthrough, and it adds to the game's identity with being accessible and always being able to pick up and play. The level design is great. Like I said, there's always a different way to approach a playthrough. You could use Kirby's flying ability and take it to the skies, which usually provides a more light challenge, with some aerial enemies in your way, but you could usually glide across most obstacles. Or if you wanted more of a challenge, you could stick to the ground, which is filled with enemies and pitfalls. This approach to gameplay is fantastic, and many developers struggle with it even today. The music of the game is great, and extremely impressive when you consider the limitations posed by the Game Boy sound chip. Kirby's Dream Land works with those limitations, creating a memorable and heart-filled soundtrack. Kirby's Dream Land is fantastic. It's a game that can cheer you up every time you decide to play it, with its upbeat, whimsical tone that you can't find anywhere else. No matter how many years go by, I can always recommend it.
Okay, that's all. Welcome to It's Music, everyone. Yeah, it's music. Again, we're back. Again. This week, we're going to be talking about Rainforest, a absolutely masterpiece album by Brazilian organist Walter Wanderley. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, now, who's this Walter Wanderley guy? Well, let me tell you, he sure is a Brazilian organist, famous for his use of the styles of lounge and bossa nova music. He's very good. He has an influence. You can find his influence in many keyboard players today. But also, just like, come on, look at the guy. He is a guy who plays organ real good. And I think that's pretty cool. Also, this album just is crazy. It's insane. Like, when it comes to influential albums, this is where it's at. Yeah, Rainforest is an absolutely killer album. I would even go as far to say it's almost perfect. I don't think if you're in the mood to listen to this music, I don't think you're going to find a need to skip any of it. I mean, this has the famous, his famous rendition of Summer Samba, which this is a very famous instrumental version. That, to be honest, you've probably heard it before. It wouldn't be crazy if you have. It's very popular. A lot of people use it for, like, wait music or hold music because it's funny like that. But genuinely, the entire album's nuts. All the musicians who play on this record are crazy. All the songs are crazy. Even the ones that are covers are so well rearranged, and they just sound awesome. And I mean, when you got a guy like this, you can thank a lot of that kind of bossa sound from a lot of his keys playing. It gets you that lounge sound thing. And that's awesome. I am getting closer and closer to being Adam Neely on this show every day.
Yeah, so I'd say overall, I couldn't sing the praises of this album enough. Honestly, I do think this is a no-skip album. If you've got the time, put it on in the background, give it a listen. Honestly, I think it's quite good. I think I even have the heart to say that when it comes to rating time, the thing that we do when we rate the albums, I'm going to say 10, closer to a 9, because this is killer. Not perfect, but it's killer. Hi, Mr. Powell. How are you doing?
This spring, 186 students have been registered and approved to play in our spring sports program. We are now using a new website called Arbiter Live, which will take care of all the scheduling needs. This new program will share bus departure times, field location with maps, general scheduling information, and more. To access our Arbiter Live page, use the link in the recent Spartan Weekly newsletter. Our athletes are so excited to feel the Spartan excitement and support at their games. With April break approaching and COVID cases declining, many of us will be traveling in the upcoming weeks, while some of us are taking the opportunity to relax at home. Take the vacation home with you with Julia, who will be sharing another dish recipe straight from Australia and available to cook right at home. Relaxing with a good book is just as important during the rainy April days. Let's see what Alec recommends. Are you looking for an opportunity to support your local community and volunteer? Monument leads many organizations such as Key Club and Pathways who aid the community in a multitude of ways. These groups are available to all students, freshmen through senior year. Inquire with Nurse Rhonda Patrick for information regarding Pathways. For Key Club, you may inquire with Miss Downer or Mr. Perry for information as well. Now that the weather is warming up in the Berkshires, we are starting to see some plant growth. Let's see what Ray has to teach about plants and botany that can give us some helpful insight during these new spring months.
Welcome back to Ray's Not So Neighborhood Plants and Botany. This week, we're learning about the baseball plant, or Euphorbia obesa. It's an endemic plant, meaning that it can only be found in the Cape region of South Africa on hillsides and stony areas. This subtropical succulent grows in a ball shape, with little flowers growing on top as it blooms. Though the baseball plant is very common in captivity, and anyone can own one as their own little succulent, they have been endangered in the wild for almost a century due to the mass harvesting from plant exporters and collectors. Because of this, it is protected in the wild under the endangered species list. Baseball plants grow very slowly and only start to produce flowers 5 to 8 years after planting them. The older a baseball plant is, the more round and cylindrical it will be. It flowers in the summer, with little flowers appearing on top of it. These flowers release a sweet scent, which attracts insect pollinators. The baseball plant can produce up to 150 seeds per year. The plant gets its water and nutrients from deep in the ground using its tapering taproot. Here are some fun facts. This plant blends in so well that the untrained eye cannot spot it easily in the wild. In captivity, the baseball plant can be grown in desert gardens with Mediterranean climate, or more commonly indoors as a potted plant. The plant is a perennial and will go through winter dormancy. It should not be watered very much during this time. Baboons and other grazing animals will eat the baseball plant in times of drought, despite the fact that the bottom of the plant is covered in a soft, milky latex that irritates the skin of animals and humans alike. It can reach 8 inches in height and 3.5 inches in width. The baseball plant has also been related to looking much like a sea urchin, as it can come in purple or brown colors. The baseball plant is named after the shape of the stem and brown tubercles on the ribs that look like seams. This all comes together to look like a baseball. The little flowers that grow on top of the plant are called cyatheum. They appear in a cup shape and are grayish colored. The seeds of the plant are spread when the fruit explodes and releases the seeds. The baseball plant is one of the most popular household succulents. This is because it's easy to take care of, especially if you're someone who isn't around a lot. All it needs is heat, light, and a well-draining soil mix, since it requires minimal water. You might have to wait a while to see the little flowers on the top of the plant, but you can feed it cactus food if you want to see it grow faster. It was first discovered by Western scientists in 1897, but didn't really reach popularity until 1915. That's all for today on our strange succulent. See you next time on Ray's Not So Neighborhood Plants and Botany.
Now it is finally time for our Sports Weekly, where we give you all the latest updates in the sports world. Starting us off, we have Brian sharing all the best soccer highlights this week. This past Thursday, the library held a sketchbook powwow during the first and second lunch. It was a huge hit and truly brought the monument community together. The library holds different events throughout the course of the year, so make sure you keep updated on the Instagram at MMRHS Library. To continue with our Sports Weekly, Wesley is next sharing a vast variety of information on his segment, National Sports News. Let's see what's going on. Right after, we continue with the basketball news recap with Kaden. Take it away, guys. Recently, it has definitely been an exciting and nerve-wracking time for seniors as many college decisions have been announced. Congratulations to all of our Spartan seniors for their acceptances. In addition, our own Nick Kierstead has been accepted into the Berklee College of Music. We are so proud of him and cannot wait to see what he will accomplish. Now, it is that time of the week again. Of course, it's TV time. First off, we have the Mias with their TV show review, taking a look at the mysterious series, a series of unfortunate events. Then, we have Tessa following with a movie review on an iconic James Bond movie called No Time to Die.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Mia's TV Review. Today we are reviewing a series of unfortunate events. The show is about 3 wealthy kids who lose their parents to a fire. They get sent to live with Count Olaf, their closest relative, by Mr. Poe, their caseworker. The kids' names are Violet, Klaus, and Sunny Baudelaire.
Each Baudelaire child has something special about them. Violet, the oldest, likes to build things. She can turn seemingly useless objects into a contraption that saves the day. You know when she is about to make something when she ties her hair up with a ribbon her mother gave her. The middle child is named Klaus. He is a bookworm who can solve any problem with his brain. Him and Violet are investigating the fire and how it started and how their parents died. Sunny is the youngest and is about 3 when the show started. She has her own language that only her and her siblings understand. She's extremely durable and sharp teeth that she can bite anything from food to metal. Sometimes her older siblings have her shape something useful so they can get out of a sticky situation. Speaking of a sticky situation, when they arrive at Count Olaf's house, they are horrified to find the state his house is in. It's extremely dirty and there is only one damp bed and blanket for all 3 of them. Violet fixes a place with household items so that there are 2 beds and a crib. Count Olaf makes the kids cook and clean up after him and his rude theater troupe. He only took them in for the fortune. However, he is furious when he finds out it can only be accessed by Violet when she turns 18, so he hatches a plan to trick her into marriage and steal the Baudelaire fortune. Luckily, Mr. Poe and the children save the day and stop the wedding. However, the Baudelaire children have more unfortunate and unlucky events to come their way. There are 3 seasons on Netflix, as well as a book series written by Lemony Snicket. Thank you so much for watching. I definitely recommend this show. It's very different from the books, but also a great experience and adventure. It's great for kids.
Well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Bye!
hungry and need a snack? If so, you're in luck. The Adored School Store has officially returned after 2 years and is selling an abundance of items for low prices. Check it out when you have a minute. Is the world really flat, and were there ever Greek gods? I definitely don't think so, but a lot do, and that's what's so interesting about myths. Here Gage is with another segment of Mythbusters, so let's check it out. Don't forget, next Wednesday will be a half day of school for students. It's a perfect opportunity to take some time for yourself and catch up on some homework. Now, up next we have Troy. Let's hear what Troy has to share about action figures. Then, we have Weatherman Luke sharing the weekly weather forecast.
What's going on? My name is Luca Yancey and I'm here to bring you your weekly weather forecast. So today's weather is actually going to be very nice. Today we can expect nice sunny weather and a temperature in the mid to low 50s. Today is one of the nicer days in the week. As you can see here, later on into the week we get a little bit of rain, but that should only be expected around Wednesday, and it'll last us through Saturday. This week finally breaks the cold spell we've been under, and the average temperature for this week is about 52 degrees. Even though it's going to be sunny today, Monday and Tuesday both are going to be very gray days, mostly overcast type skies, and you can see here on Monday it's going to be a very gray day. In the sunrise starts a little earlier as sun's rising at 6:30 and it's going to set at 7:26. Tuesday is going to be the same as Monday, but might be a little warmer as it jumps up maybe 1 to 2 degrees from 51 to about 52. Wednesday we can expect heavy rainfall, and that should last for about Wednesday and Thursday, but it should lighten up Friday and Saturday. As you can see here, it's going to start pretty warm in the beginning of the week as the temp is roughly about 50 degrees, but by Saturday it's going to be even warmer, as it's going to be in the mid to high 50s, possibly up into the 60s on Saturday. This week should be a very standard April week with a little bit of rain. Just a recap of this week's weather: we're going to have light breeze on Sunday, light breeze today on Sunday, and mid to high 50s, and then that'll be pretty much for about the first couple of days of the week, and then it's going to be pretty gray on Monday and Tuesday, and then we're going to get some rain Wednesday, and that'll last us through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's all for this week's weather forecast. This week's fun weather fact, and it's kind of morbid actually. Every year, roughly 100,000 people die from weather-related incidents. That's all for this week's weather.
Thanks, Luke. And now it is time for the weekly lunch schedule. Monday starts off with options of hamburgers, cheeseburgers, or veggie burgers. Tuesday we'll be serving barbecue pork riblet sandwiches. Wednesday there will be no lunch due to the half day in service. Then we finish off the week with Thursday's chicken patty sandwiches and Friday's beloved stuffed crust pizza. Last but never least, Orson gives us a preview of upcoming shoe releases on his segment, Shoe Reviews. Then afterwards, to finish this off, a short skit will be performed by Hyatt. Let's see what they have in store.
Alright, so tell me about your shoes, Luke.
Yeah.
What are they?
Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name's Hyatt, I'm on my bed, and well, I'm kind of hiding from the snow. You see, I was gonna go record in the playground today, but nature had other plans.
It's almost April.
Yeah, so I'm kind of stuck inside for the day. I guess I'll break out the board games. Of course, playing a board game is easy, anybody can do it. But finding a board game to play, that's harder. You got great games like Clue, Stratego, and then you've got like other ones. Even then, when you actually find a board game to play, it's even harder to find somebody to play it with. I mean, you've got somebody who just gets mad at everything. I will move 9. Reveal. It's a bomb. Stupid game, I don't even... move 10 to here. Reveal. It's a 5. You can take it. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, it's a stupid 5. Yeah, you can't even kill my 10. You're so bad at this stupid game. Now I'll move my 10 here. Yes. And now move it here, taking your 4. Haha. There's no way you're ever gonna defend your flag from me. And then I'm gonna move it here to take your 7. Haha. Mom, why you're such an idiot putting all your high star pieces over here? Stupid. Oh, you numbskull, the game's already over. I'm gonna move my 10 here, taking your flag. 1 takes 10. I'll get your commander. Stupid. And so, in conclusion, board games are stupid and we should get rid of them.
Thanks, Hyatt, for rounding off the end of our show. Alright, folks, that brings us to the end of this week's edition. Thank you for joining us tonight, and as always, for your continued support. If you have any suggestions for the show, please reach out through our email, monument.tv2021@gmail.com. And as always, don't forget, we will be back next week, same time, same channel. This has been your host, Samantha from MMTV, signing off. Have a great night, everyone.